In about a month's time, think about it. In 1 month, it's been 5 years already since 2013. FIBA Asia. Isipin yun, 5 years already. The thing that really strikes us, or for me, I don't know with you, is the struggle. The struggle. We always talk about that game. We think about, what do we have? 10 days of 3 times a day, 3 a days, for 10 straight days in Lithuania, going to New Zealand, the struggle. That's why it's very special what we did, kasi sobrang hirap. But since then, it's now 5 years. Look at where you all are today. In our fight, our countrymen, they see their fight. In our struggle, they see their struggle. You have countrymen out there, they traveled by bus for about 4, 6, 8 hours away just to be here. Some of them can't even get in the gym. That's worth fighting for. When you fight hard, they believe that when they fight hard, they can also achieve something special. But this is special. That's why you all love playing this team. Because for this team, it's not about money. It's for something bigger, something special. Out there, play together, have fun, gentlemen. Here we go, Laban Pilipinas!
Puso! Wild in the Philippines, out of control in the Philippines. Punches, kicks, fans, the bench is cleared. You are kidding me. This is out of control. This could well see the game abandoned. We obviously can't see, but there's an Aussie on the ground there. Well, these are sad, disgraceful, deplorable, abhorrent scenes in the Philippines. Nathan Sobey has been assaulted. Are you kidding me? And again, we couldn't get a camera angle, but there must have been 15 or 20 Filipino players around Nathan Sobey and Chris Golding. You saw Luke Longley run from one end of the court to be able to stick up for his teammates. This is disgraceful. Shane, I have never seen anything like this in all my years covering professional sport involving Australian teams. When you've got to go back to that time out from the Filipino coach, the emotion and the way he challenged his players, and you've seen there's been a bit of niggle all the way along. There was an unsportsmanlike foul on Chris Golding that started this. It was nothing but a cheap and disgraceful play against the Aussies. They'll get serious penalties for this. This is really bad. I've never seen anything like it. Let alone an international tournament. Can the game continue? Well, I'm not sure what happens from here. But you look at Chris Golding there. Yeah, you look at some of the players and what they've popped and the amount of punches and kicks and the mindset that this Filipino team attacked the Australians with is disgraceful. These scenes are childish. Am I reading it incorrectly? No, I agree. Taking selfies and smiling with a silly expression after you have been involved in scenes that will go around the world and damage basketball. There needs to be advisor. You raised a very good point. We took the time out from the Philippines where the coach urged his side to hit the Australians. I didn't actually think he meant it. It is a dark, dark night for the sport of basketball. Australia and the Philippines started tonight playing for top spots in Group B, first round FIBA Asia World Cup qualifying, and they finish in disgrace.
Disgraceful. The thing that absolutely irritated me, and I'm being very serious about this, the Philippines team needs to be struck off for 12 months. Those officials who threw punches and chairs need to get lifetime bans. That is appalling, disgusting thuggery. Absolute thuggery. You represent your nation when you wear their colours, right? You are playing the sport that apparently you love in your team colours. And that's how you represent yourself. That's how you represent your family. That's how you represent your nation. It is absolute thuggery. And to add insult to injury, these muppets, these brain-dead imbeciles, pose for a selfie when the officials are working out what the hell to do. Roll the vision. Get the selfie vision up. This is unbelievable. What the hell?
But during the practice of Australia, Sunday night, they felt that for whatever reason, it was slippery or it wasn't safe. The guys from the team started just ripping off the decals of the floor.
My main priority now is just to get home, spend some time with my family. Let FIBA do everything they need to do to take the time, go through the process.
But he was the one who came in and then he depped Pogoy for the 5th time. You can't expect to do that to a team for 5 times and not expect to be to retaliate.
The most disturbing thing out of the whole situation, the players at the end of the day feared for how we were going to get out of there.
The allegations of racism that were made by some sections of the Australian media were proven to be absolutely baseless.
No, I've never seen anything like that, not even on YouTube. But I do believe that their coach, Chet Reyes, incited them to come out and thug us. I think there's evidence of that, video evidence of that. Then he substituted a thug out there who took 3 or 4 cheap swings at Bubbles. This is out of the party line, but I'm most disturbed with their head coach. I think he was embarrassed by the way his team were playing. I think he was embarrassed by the kind of shape they were in. I think he was embarrassed by how they fought. He wouldn't look me in the eye at the end of the game. When I shook his hand, I think he was embarrassed, and I think that's where a lot of it came from, right from there. And if you listen to his diatribe after the game, I think it verifies it.
Get back on defense! Give up a foul early! Hit somebody! Anyone who understands basketball, if you take offense with that statement, you don't know basketball. That's number one. But number two, take a look at the statement. They're beating us on transition. So foul early. Foul early, don't give a layup. Foul early, hit somebody, put him down so that the referees will call a foul. So it's basketball. For me, I'm not even bothered by all the bashers and all the negative feedback I'm getting on that. That's every coach that you ask will tell you that's basketball.
As we said at the outset, we deeply regret the incident and our role in it. The FIBA findings through the notice of decision are quite comprehensive, and they addressed all of the matters that we set out in our submission. The charges and the sanctions that have been handed down, which FIBA have released, and we're in our media statement, as you've seen. Our 3 players, Daniel Kickett, Thon Maker and Chris Goulding, have all been found guilty and have received match suspensions. It's important to note the match suspensions are for FIBA Asia qualifiers for World Cup. They don't apply to NBL for Chris and Daniel or to Thon for NBA. The findings of the panel were that throughout the game there was some niggle between Chris and a couple of players. The FIBA panel took the view that that actually perhaps contributed to the third quarter incident. On balance, that's something that we'll talk about tomorrow as a board. Given everything that we saw with Chris under the basket with 20 players on him, it's a little tough to swallow that one, but that's a conversation that we'll have as a board tomorrow and with Chris.
Will you be
Then Gilas players are suspended from international play for their involvement in the brawl during the FIBA World Cup Asia qualifier match between the Philippines and Australia. World governing body for basketball FIBA hands down a decision Wednesday, days after the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas or SBP and Basketball Australia sent their official reports on the incident. Terence Romeo, Jason Castro, Calvin Abueva, Andre Blatch, Roger Pogoy, Troy Rosario, Japeth Aguilar, Carl Brian Cruz, Matthew Wright, and Gio Halalon will be suspended for their involvement in the brawl. Abueva will serve the longest suspension with 6 games, while Pogoy, Cruz, and Halalon will each serve 5-game suspensions. The Gilas coaching staff was also not spared. Head coach Chot Reyes will serve a 1-game suspension and shall pay a disciplinary fine of 10,000 Swiss francs, while Deputy Coach Jong Wichiko will serve a 3-game suspension for joining the Filipino mob that mauled Chris Golding. The SBP will pay a disciplinary fine of 250,000 Swiss francs for the unsportsmanlike behavior of its delegation members and of its public, as well as for insufficient organization of the game. FIBA says the Philippines will play the next home game behind closed doors, while a ban for 2 more home games has been placed under a probationary period of 3 years. In the Australian side, Daniel Kickert will serve a 5-game suspension. Thon Maker will serve 2, while Golding will serve 1. SBP will be given 14 days to appeal to FIBA and 21 days in the Court of Arbitration for Sport from the time the appeal decision was handed down.
And now the Philippines have dragged us through the mud because all the world's talking about the Australia and Philippines fight. Their dog act and that selfie. That's worse. Sorry, that's worse than the punches being thrown. That is just
disrespectful.
Pagkatapos namon sang kaon, linag pang punagbati. May nagadihal, nagasiyop-siyop, kay ang bibig, tamagid kahapdi. May nagatulo ang luha, nga wala naman sing kasubo. Tungod sang turagsoy, nga akon linagpang, tamagid kakahak. Nga turagsoy sa sabaw, nagalangoy-langoy, ginlagtan, pagid sang ginamos, pinamalhas, gid kami sang higop, ang siling sang nakatilaw, sampat gid ang timplada mo, linagpang nga turagsoy, kanamit gid pro. Sang nakatilaw, sampat gid ang timplada mo, linagpang nga turagsoy, kanamit gid pro.